And welcome back in again, everybody, to guess what? We've been singing so far, and if you're here, you already know what's up here. This is semifinals of the Wizards $500 Wild Rift Cup. Join Marashi Gravish and Annie Far here. We're into draft already, Annie Far. Yeah. And I like what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, it is the first draft of the day. We have BYG on the blue side, and that does not seem like Black Camel on the red side. That seems like another team that we've already seen today. Is it Black Camel? Not sure.
It is indeed Black Camel, yes, sir.
Are you sure? Okay, let's believe it is. We have then Black Camel into BYG on the blue side. The draft is basically already terminated. We see the Wukong as a first pick. That's really interesting for BYG. On the other side, we see the Kaisa Braum being picked very, very early. But of course, on the other side, we have the Zyra Khan to try to be very oppressive in the laning phase, to have a lot of engage with the Wukong, with the Yasuo. BYG's team comp can be very explosive, but of course, Black Camel bring Milzer again with the Aurelion Soul, so it's gotta hurt.
I'm liking it a lot too, because like you were mentioning, right? Milzer was so sick on the actual ASOL before in the matchup, but going into the Yasuo so far, it might be a bit of a toss-up because we know how good Yasuo is as bobbing, weaving in between the ASOL stars. He could likely just, probably push out the ASOL, knock him up, and the setup coming off the side of BYG for this Yasuo too is so big, with the Gragas knock up along with the Wukong too, and the Rakan as well at the back. So everything here is made for Yasuo to succeed.
Yes, it is. We haven't seen anything out of BYG yet. We have seen out of Black Camel, and what did throw me off there, the reason I was confused, was because they did change a player on the roster. It's not the self-proclaimed Black Camel anymore piloting the Camille. It's Sark there in the Baron lane, and that's why I was confused just explaining that part. But yeah, let's see if Black Camel can be as dominant as they were in the first game. Obviously, Yasuo has a way easier time dealing with the Aurelion Soul compared to the Akali. The Akali gets really stuck in that shroud once she decides to go in, and Aurelion Sol can really punish her for it. But Yasuo will be a completely different beast. We're already on the Wild Rift.
Yes, as you head on in the standard flow back and forth, it's just able to find a lot. Find a lot of Black Camel right in the bot side, just hovering around, but nothing too much so far. But one thing that you want to remember, right? Considering how much of an explosive start Black Camel had as of previously, I imagine we'll see more of the same. But BYG on their end, though, are looking quite fearsome, but they also have the unknown factors like you're mentioning. We haven't seen much out of them so far in this tournament, but I'm excited to see what they can bring out.
Of course, they did win their way over here. That's why they're here. So they probably are pretty good enough, at least. And they do all have the tag on their own names, so they look professional enough that they might take the whole thing. But right now, Cloud doesn't even reach level 2, and he's already almost out of the laning phase. But luckily, honey fruits are nearby.
And even this right here, man, is what the classic weak set top laner is. Like,
yeah.
Look, I as a top laner myself, I share and understand in his pain and misery, bro. When you're in an impressive lane, you have to give us so many every ways. You chill under tower, you and the tier 1 become best friends, and you barely even see half the lane. My brother, Cloud, I understand. I feel you, bro. You just become a perma target. But top lane, it's not fun, but like it is all I know. Annie Flores, but
you know what else is not fun and is all I know? AD carry. It's not very fun to have zero agency in solo queue when everything your team has to do is play around you, and not even that they can do. So I feel your pain in very different ways. So right now, we see that Beyond Gaming don't need to spend resources on the said Gragas. They don't need to do anything about that weak side. All they have to do is play around the Yasuo. He is the main carry in the team, and if all else fails, they will have Gore piloting the Xayah to try to make it out. So right now, Black Camel are very much in control of every single lane on the map. But so far, that hasn't amounted to much, as Sark and Saltini are just roaming around the map, getting their camps, and trying to prepare for an eventual dragon fight. First one, it's going to be the Cloud, and it's not being set up just yet by either team, but there are resources allocated in the bot side.
Yeah, both bot lanes were actually managed to get it back off as well as they're looking to set up as well. The wave now should be pushing in favor of Black Camel by the time they're able to get back. But considering it's just the Kaisa, she might be in a roach the pawn too. You can see she's just under a quarter of her health. Takes a lot of damage already. But Braum is coming there at the back too for the support. She managed to get on A-OK as they head towards the dragon.
They do make it out A-OK, but Jackie is a little bit beaten up from that little exchange. Lars and Gore do get the best of it. It is Zyrakan, so they do get the added benefits of being together. Rakan with the battle dance can actually just leave from a very extended range. But right now they're being forced out of the wave because of the presence of Sark on his Camille. They are being forced out of this dragon side, but Impact!
A hard to look up at the back door, lock the hot stick ultimatum, and that'll take him out.
Yeah, that was a very good knockup by Impact, but unfortunately, he couldn't use the last breath as he was stunned the moment he hit that knockup, and that was very well played by Black Camel to get the first blood, to stop the Yasuo in its tracks. The biggest carry of BYG is now 1 kill behind, and the dragon is spawning. Asami and Sark have the better of it, while BYG are actually recalling right now.
So, pretty decently even trade. Well, I wouldn't say even for Black Camel because they're like, this is fine. I actually feel okay with this considering they get both the dragon. But the kill going over on the other end for them as well. As non-impacted or landed stricken on the back end though. No knockup to be had so far. They're not on the back end though. That's absolutely massive considering they're going in. Look at Sultani that has to get out as well.
Jackie!
Give it out. He's just still away. No, he's still bobbing, weaving back and forth. Jackie still somehow makes it out yet again. What is with Kaisa staying alive? You see Gore as well untouched, is under half health.
Everyone's alive.
Doesn't have the damage though. Doesn't stun anybody up, and they all get out.
He goes in.
Alec goes in, lands a stun inside the shroud with the energy.
Cloud.
One more. There it is.
Wow. Oh no, Gore! He still makes the kite back.
Okay, he was. They actually are stunned, but none of Black Camel's there to support Aurelian's soul, and so 1 for 1 by the end of like 30 seconds of fighting.
That was a very extended fight. Black Camel do make it out with the Cloud Drake. That's a lot of movement speed that's going to be associated with their champions at this point, but the health bars were managed so beautifully by their team. It was like BYG were just not able to execute anyone. If there were collectors everywhere on BYG, everyone would be dead on Black Camel, but collector is not a thing in this particular game. While Impact is suffering, Wind Wall protects him. Oh no.
One more auto stunned, locked, and dead. Last but under tower, though, gets it. No, he dies under there, but it doesn't matter because the tower is there for the support. Well, at least give one back to Sultanate.
Wow, the tower is there to back him up. Sark has no way of getting out the moment he hook shots in. There is no flash available right then and there. So it is a 1 for 1, but once again, it's the Yasuo that suffers. It's the main carry on BYG team. The person that actually was built around when it comes to team composition, and the person that is suffering the most in this early game. So Black Camel are really good at identifying the win condition and just keep hammering on it.
Glacial Fissure onto 3 as we see Cirque at the back. He can't get into the fight. Has to flash out as well. Gonna use their card ultimate.
Oh, Sark!
All out. The lands are slow too as Meisler is just these stars is completely burning them out in super tight crevices. They cannot get away. Jackie as well. Under tower. Finishes off the Kaisa. Bold and brazen. Just how I like it.
All he needed to do was to throw in that Icathian Rain. He doesn't even have to aim, and the kill is entirely his. It's 8-3 now towards Black Camel. 5k is what separates both these teams, and once again we see Black Camel completely dominating the game from the get-go. They do get the Rift Herald right now. Nielser is still very well positioned into Impact, and it's like the Wind Wall is just not enough.
So far, it's only the blocks so much.
Oh,
So back end, we see Jackie absolutely pop out. Should really get this one to another double for him. He is so fed right now. It's an absolute danger to society and the entire team of BYG.
Yeah, this Kai'Sa is really paying dividends right now. It's a double kill in that Baron lane. The Herald is also put down. The second turret is going down. All the while, Impact is getting pressured by two solo laners from Black Camel at the same time. They just do not let go out of their leads. They're just everywhere at once, and they're ready to take on BYG at the next Dragons. 24 seconds, the resets are coming in, and BYG are going to have to brace themselves if they really want to get back and climb into this game.
So far, just about 8 minutes in, though. Only almost a 10k goal lead surmounting for Black Camel, which is absolutely insane. Although not as fast of a game that we saw before, a bit more controlled on their end, but we see Black Camel not necessarily overstepping any bounds that they know they cannot. It's not the disgusting goal lead they had before, but it just keeps on surmounting as a second dragon will also go in their favor, and it just continues on. But the question is, we need to be looking at attack these objectives as
Gore again.
Okay, Gore at the back to push that Featherstorm, locked up a lot of damage. Under tower should be dead. Low, can I save him? And the two lovers die, but at least they died together. Gragas at the back was only there to join the party. We die at the back too, along with the two couples. Kind of third partying, man. It's three's a crowd, bro, but not if you're. Oh god, the fourth one for free for Black Camel.
Godlike on the bullet, Angel Kai'Sa. Well played by Black Camel. 12k is the lead right now, and it's completely impossible for Beyond Gaming to hope for anything unless Black Camel makes the same mistakes that we've already seen them make in the last game. But so far, they seem to be very, very calculated compared to last game. They are not letting up of mostly anything, and Hextech Ultimatum off cooldown, that just means that Sark is just gonna get another free kill on any of the carries of BYG. Baron coming up in 25 seconds, the resets are coming in. Black Camel might even try to do this ASAP. We see the Zhonya's already coming in from Mulzer. Jackie just adding up more crit, more attack speed on this Kai'Sa, and the Baron can be bursted down very, very quickly for the team.
13k. Considering right now is the lead that is surmounting for Black Camel, and right now BYG need to find a way to stop it as Baron has spawned like you were mentioning. Impact might be in some trouble to keeping it safe.
Lars engages.
Absolutely huge. Kai'Sa's here as well. Gets a Fridge as well. But look at Jackie. He's untouched the backline, putting out so much damage, and they get the exhaust down to only on the Wukong. One too much damage instead, and just like that, they get down Saltine. 1 for 1.
1 for 1, but it's the jungler who's dead. So now they can actually try to go for Baron, but no, they're still pounding on the mid lane turret. Can they try to get anything else? I mean, Sark, he does have a Guardian Angel. He can just give his body to try to get any kills in return, but I guess BYG are still better equipped to deal with these team fights. Lars just needs a great knockup just so everyone to step in. The last breath is used by Impact, and eventually they do get a kill in return, but still, it seems like Black Camel are just so far ahead. Their damage numbers are completely insane at this point, and it really feels like Black Camel really can't make any mistakes to lose this game for the life of them. Now, BYG are forced to walk into the Baron area. They are forced to try to get vision. They do get a little bit of vision, but how long will they last? Because Asami, he's already taking care of that.
Oh,
Cloud.
I'll have to hold the one of Asami, but okay, hey, I was actually a good barrel. That was a good barrel to disengage, but it doesn't necessarily matter as they all converge at one time. Jackie is legendary. He does oodles and poodles of damage. The Acathians will rain hell upon them all, but good knock-up will respond. Get the double kill and a shutdown as well for Impact. Finally, the Yasuo pops. That's exactly what we wanted to see. A voice of light will not communicate to Impact as he will live for now.
It will not be enough, even with the Leandries already present. The burn is not enough on Impact, but does it really matter? They do get the plates on this mid lane turret. Alloy and Mulzer are completely dominating at this point, but Lars goes for the engage.
Immediately too, as they lock down Alloy, he's inside the shroud, should get out okay as they get the turret as well. So a worthwhile trade for them right now, and Black Camel continue to push their lead, but a good response by BYG previously as Dragon spawns.
Dragon spawns, and they're all there. Alloy is a little bit low, but he just goes on to the bot side. He does grab a little bit of farm, and now he's going straight to this dragon. It's the third dragon of the game onto Black Camel. It's an Ocean Drake, and that means that the last dragon will be the most important. That Infernal Drake will really settle the difference between whoever is ahead and whoever is not. But Black Camel, I mean, they're pretty comfortable in the lead right now, and I believe that BYG can't really do anything about it. The items just keep piling up on Black Camel's side, and all that's left is a Baron Nashor's trying to force one of those team fights and not stacking up together, because if they do, one big knockup can be the difference between BYG climbing back onto this game or not.
But BYG right now have to be able to do something, right? They have to find some sort of solid engage for them to make it back. As you look at the back end too, unfortunately, Impact's in trouble. A lot of damage onto him. Lands up, knock up at the back will trigger. Will trigger the actual Guardian Angel, but will not do much for him as he will die by the end of it. Good pickup, and that means Baron for Black Camel.
Yeah, you can't just afford to get your biggest carry on a backline like that. He's just completely decimated. Impact has not made an impact for himself in this game. Let's put it that way. So Black Camel are just completely comfortable getting this Baron Nashor, going for the reset out of the immense gold lead that this Baron Nashor really offers them up. And now, wearing purple, they're just running it down all three lanes.
And now it falls on a Black Camel to see how they will try to close out the game here, setting up a 1-3-1 essentially right now, which I thought the 1-3-1 meta was dead, but Wild Rift's bringing it back, and I'm all for it. Considering as not even, it's currently a 2-2-1. This is some new stuff that I ain't seen before, but yo, whatever gets y'all close to Nexus, I'm all genuinely down. As Impact is chopped down to just about half from just Heroic Soul Stars, poking him at range to falls on Black Camel to enroach upon these turrets, and the Nexus is in danger for BYG.
Yeah, they can just keep going. Oh, Gore just pops the stopwatch. Is he dead anyways? Who knows?
So at the back, Redemption lands and knock-up as well, too, as we see already Akali's in. Astro Gold and Stakus will keep alive for a little bit longer. Right now, BYG looking a little bit tough. Impact at the back with a little fight against Jackie, too. Peg him down. But they cannot get down Sark either. The G is still keeping it alive for now. The red buff as well. Gonna take him. Impact is a lot of damage, but there's so many low health on the side of Black Camel. And they do it, and it's just got him.
They can manage to get the first game out of BYG. Black Camel are just as scary as they were in the last game, and that's very impressive. The team is really stepping up, really putting up the results, and all within comfort. They bring the Kaisa once more. The Camel was instrumental for this lead, as we see as the MVP of this match in particular, and double Infinity Edge also on the hands of Jackie, just completely sealed the deal over there for Black Camel as they take the first win in this best of 3, so it's not all over for BYG yet.
No, sir, not at all. And remember here, because it's BO3, considering a draft format, teams are not allowed to play the champs. They did going into the second game, but if you do manage to go to a game 3, you can. All the champ pools are open back up yet again here. So I'd be excited to see what BYG and how they change up their style, and what more is the back pocket of Black Camel, because it's Aesol and Camille have definitely been the bread and butter. So what more can they bring to us is going to be really exciting, as I do believe we do have our replays as well, almost all up and ready for y'all to see, so you can see, so you can really take in what happened in that game, because although it wasn't as and then zoom, Black Camel was controlled, it was clean like this.
Yeah, it was very clean. This was right after the first dragon, right after the Cloud Drake. It was very chill for a little bit right there, but eventually Gore and Cloud just completely overstepped. They do not respect the fact that the enemy team does want to go for that Herald right away, and it just turns into a complete bloodbath, right? We see here a Cloud. He just has to catch the wave. Impact is completely alone, but Asami does not want to stop. Instantly, 3-on-3, Glacial Fissure just hits so many different targets at once, and even though Gorge does gain a lot of time with that Blade Collar, it is not enough because Mealser is already dealing so much damage with this early game Aurelion Sol, and eventually Jackie just seals the deal with the Icathian Rain over the turret, and Asami just having his back.
The fact that he lived there too yet again here, that is almost 3 instances of Kai'Sa's getting out of team fights, which should have been their doom, absolutely, which is crazy. So yet again proving how OP invisibility is while there, bro. If you can like get away from the sidelines of somebody for just a couple of seconds, you are guaranteed just S tier right now. So I'm gonna ask Riot real quick. I know they're watching here. Guys, control words are a really cool item. Like they're like really great. They they give you like a vision of like everything. That's think about it. Just like keep it in your back pocket and just like ponder upon it too as we load up our next replays.
Yeah, we're going on then to the next replay. The second clip does bring us to a fight that got Camel almost into base at this point. Another Glacial Fissure, and I don't know, I can't praise Asami enough from the Janna game, from the Braum game as well. He's just putting on so much work. He's pulling so much weight for his team. And yes, we see Black Camel being a little bit greedy. We see them being a little bit overconfident, as we know them to be, and Impact does end up not dying when they should just go for Baron and try not to force these fights, but they're so far ahead, it really doesn't matter. They still win the fight, they still pull out ahead, and that's very impressive to see from a team like Black Camel.
Consider we've seen so far here, what I did like to at least the little change up from them was they didn't overextend their lead very early on, because we saw that from them in the previous game, where although they were so far ahead, they were making these interesting coin flip plays, but because they could just slap their opponents of IF just with their wallets, it didn't kind of matter. Here, we saw a very different setup like Camel going through the first 8 minutes of the game, but as soon as things got started, man, they did not stop rolling. I thought I'd make a point and there'd be a fight, like just immediately.
Yeah, and as we are going to see from the next clip, the last fight was really chaotic. They just went in the base. Lars tries to stop everything with a great grand entrance, and eventually Alloy just stays alive for so long during that stopwatch. Gragas is doing everything he can to disengage with the explosive cask, and this is where Black Camel just say, no, we can't really force it too hard. We need to wait a little bit. And when the minions come around, Alloy is just dead instantly, and it looks like everyone is gonna die right away, but the Nexus just can't hold on for long enough. It just doesn't give enough time for BYG to get the dub in this first match of the BO3, but of course, they'll have more chances to prove it right up next.
Yes, sir, as I believe the game should be loading in just a couple of seconds, as well as you get the draft all up and ready for y'all to go into this next game out of this BO3. They're waiting on that here. As you know what, man, here. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna breathe for a second. I'm gonna let y'all breathe for a second. Well, we're cutting to about 30 seconds. About 30 seconds for a short little break, and when we come back, y'all see this next game. So count to 30. I'll be watching. I'll be making sure, all right? Stay there.
Stay. Bye.